Hi, my name's Danielle Marie. Catch me on the Papazoe show.
Dope Nation.
Siga heat from my niggas bounce. Shout out to Papazoe show.
Yo, what up? You already know what it is, man. It's your man, Papazoe, the Papazoe show. My co-host.
Walk the walk, baby, walk the walk. You already know.
That's what it is.
Hey, Zoe.
Yes, sir.
What that is you got over there in the cup, man?
Man, that's none other but Danielle Marie.
Ooh.
Welcome to the show.
Good to be here.
Before we take off, you know you got to pop your bottle. Or we're going to do that B&B mix.
B&B.
All right. My mom had this for the first time last week. She loved it. Rose?
However, so Miss Danielle Marie, for anybody that's meeting you for the first time, let everybody know who you are and what sparked your passion for music.
Yeah, it's a good question. So I am from Jersey. I was born in New Jersey, raised in New Jersey, went to Temple for school. So shout out to TU. I went to in Philly.
Temple University.
Stayed out there for 5 years or so. And then, went back to New Jersey for a bit, shot down to Atlanta, back to New Jersey, and then from New Jersey straight to Miami. So I've been all over the place for a while. So, my mom raised me single parent. My dad had 4 siblings, so they all are out here in Florida. So my dad's family is all in Florida. He passed away in 2016. So that's when I originally found out about this place called Florida, because I've been coming out here forever since I was a kid. But respectfully, I was like, I want to be close to family.
Okay.
But I don't want to be that close to family, because I'm Puerto Rican. And everyone got keys to everybody's house.
Right,
and I don't like popping. So I was like, I'm going to Miami. But, my dad was a big DJ in the 80s. So I think the musical side comes from him.
Okay.
He was a big DJ in the 80s, run around New York City. So all that came into play. He's always been my number one fan. So I, pushed it. I think we talked before, I have only child syndrome, right? So my mom was a single parent. She worked a lot. And so when she'd be like, stay in the house, lock the doors, I'll be home later, because she had to go to work, I'd be in my room just pretending to have my own concert, my make-believe friends. And then lo and behold, I always was good on computers. So my grandmother, got me a computer, and then I discovered, I'm taking you back a little bit, LimeWire, Napster, and I'm like, oh, what's this download music stuff,
Yeah.
And then, before the Pro Tools, Sony Acid Pro, I said, oh, so I can take my ideas, download this beat, and make it come to life. So I started that way, just playing around, writing poetry, and really found myself lost in my own world. And it was a safe place, and passed a lot of time while my mom was at work. And that kind of manifested into being in a rap group in high school, and being the only girl in that rap group, and doing talent shows and winning, to going to college and being at Temple. We had recording studios on campus, so that was working with Brian at the time, and then getting a chance to meet Ape Gang, who runs with Meek and them, because they worked out at the gym I worked at, and just kind of getting that influence from them. And then young Chris was running around at the time, just kind of getting that Philly vibe, because I'm from the suburbs, so when I went out to North Philly, I was like, oh, you know what I mean? What is this? What's that?
Yeah, it's different.
It was different. So my mom was one of those parents that never let me leave the block. So our little, so I was very sheltered.
Yeah.
And then, and I was, so my writing was all sheltered writing. So when I got out to the city, I'm like, oh shit, I like it. It's bouncy out here, so you get into a lot of stuff, you live, you learn. So all my friends, they weren't college students. I was hanging out with the best of them, I was 16th. I lived on 16th in Susquehanna. My friends were on Dolphin and Bancroft Street. And, if you're from Philly, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so I definitely wasn't on campus at the time, and just ended up being around a bunch of guys that, really believed in what I did and pushed me. And pushed me in a place that it was safe, because you got to be careful who you hang out with. And, I just paid attention, kept my mouth closed, and just kept it moving. And then, that just kind of led into me doing an internship at Bell Records in Brooklyn, and learning about really respecting production, right? So really respecting the mix, and really respecting the masters and the people behind it, and realizing this is a whole This is a whole situation.
So you pretty much know about this music thing.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Respecting that mix and just watching people do what they do, and just meeting some interesting people along the way in the studio, and going, wow, I really, really like this. I really, really like this business.
Right.
And then I realized, like, hey, I think I want to write a Christmas jingle. That's where the money's at. You know what I mean? So really getting the ideas of, like, it's not just about, especially today, like going viral and making that song that's gonna hit for like a second.
Right.
For me, it's about making that song that's gonna hit over and over and over again. You know what I mean? That song we talked about, it's like that song that's gonna give you lasting memories no matter where you are, you know?
Right.
And so and really just understanding that, but also being a business person myself, I was really curious to see how it worked, how royalties worked, how much this cost, how much that cost. And so I've always been curious about the whole industry itself. So I asked a lot of questions, and I was like a sponge, and I took a lot of notes, and now we're here because I've always loved sound, and I've always loved writing. So I can hear and I'm like, I'll be like, so turn that up. I'm like, what? Try this and try that and then do this, and you're like, that's crazy. Next thing you know, I got a song like Jungle. You know what I mean? So it's just like if I can close my eyes and see the movie, see the video, I'm writing a record. So I've always kind of been like, in my own head, in my own zone, only child syndrome. So
I mean, I know I checked out something, right? And I see you, so you had an album, you're So Serious.
Why So Serious?
Yeah, Why So Serious? Super producer, I think it was
Magic Reed.
Yeah, Magic Reed. What happened?
Yeah, so I was in between Daddy's house, which is Puff's old studio in New York. It's no longer there, and in the Hits Lab in Bayonne, which is Magic Reed's studio. And Magic Reed, somehow he heard my music that I was doing at Daddy's house.
Okay.
And he told me to come through. I came through, and he said, these beats are cool, but what if we make sound around you? Let's build around you. Because, he's a super producer, so he hears things that other people don't hear.
Right.
So the guy took me under his wing, and, I don't really remember him charging me anything. I mean, I lived at this studio. I think he just really, he messed with me. Like, just like, I got you, but stay focused. And I was always focused on the wrong things back then, boys, and what if people don't like me, and like you in your own head. So you block your own blessings sometimes doing that, right? So you just like, kind of like, if you know you got a gift, just walk. There's gonna be people along the way that just listen, basically. So
right.
So I listened, took notes, and we created from the ground up, and that was a real fun album. But at the time, I was like, I don't know about this album, man. Something ain't right. He's like, you're not listening to me. You're above your time. Just chill out. I know people, and you're just like, whatever. You're not realizing the blessings that are right in front of you.
Right in front of you.
Right in front of you. The people that are in my face. And because you're worried about, like, is this rapper going to see me? Is this singer? You're not realizing they don't matter. Like, respectfully, they matter. But, like, the executives matter. Some A&R people matter. Some lawyers matter. Pay attention. Like,
right.
I'm telling you, I'm putting you in front. You're just blocking your own blessings. So I was in the studio one night, finally starting to click. And I get a call. My dad was my best friend. He was like the only person at the time who like believed in my music. And I wouldn't say believed in it, but he, no matter what I said, did risky photo shoots that I took along the way, that he was like, you don't have to do that, but come on now, calling people to get the pictures off the internet, stuff like that. He didn't play that. So he always believed in me. But one day I got a call. I was in the studio, and they said, your dad fell. I said, what? He said he fell and he hit his head. He was on the roof. And I said, is he okay? And you kind of hear like this, when something ain't right. Like me and my dad were connected. And I just remember like Magic will probably tell the story better than me, but like all I remember is like the phone kind of like falling out my hand, and the next thing I knew, I was on the ground and his foot had caught me before my head hit the ground. Like it was like kind of like this. So I found out about my dad basically falling to his death at the studio.
Oh, damn.
And I was just getting ready. I had just done my first show in Chelsea, just getting ready to like, get in place with other things. Jermaine was working on some placements for me. Like I was just starting to get in my pocket.
Yeah.
And then like he passed away. So I remember calling my mom, because he was still alive at the time. She books me on a flight to Orlando. That night, I rushed from the studio to Orlando, and it's like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And I remember I'm on a flight, and it's so loud. It's cheerleaders, the Montclair State University cheerleaders. I'm like, out of all people on this damn flight,
You got
a lot of
cheerleaders.
cheerleaders, right? Like, you know, so, but I guess there's a reason, right? You're trying to keep your spirits up. So I get to the hospital. My dad, they induced a coma. You know, he said he was walked in, said he was feeling so much pain that they just had to put him down. He never woke up. So, you know, me and my dad were like this. So I was the person that came out the room, opened the door to the waiting room, and there was about 100 friends and family there. And I kept this smile on my face because I didn't want to make people nervous, but it had been 3-4 days, and they're like, is he going to make it? I said, you know, Dad's gone. And I had to make that public announcement to the family. So that was tough, keeping that smile on my face for everybody, and then sitting there while everyone got to walk in the room, everyone said goodbye, everyone got to say goodbye, and I'm sitting in the chair just holding my dad's hand, and, you know, I had to make the call to pull the plug with my grandmother, because in Florida, you can't keep people alive like that. That's like a law. Like in New York, you can keep people alive as long as you got money, or it used to be a law, but not here. So they pulled the plug, and I just remember, like, and it's a tattoo on my hand of my dad, like, holding his hand, and, like, it wasn't probably within about 7 minutes, if that. He was like, took his last breath, and he just left. But I had known he was gone way before that. Like, when I got that call, I knew in my heart, so I had already mentally prepared myself to go through that. But then it was just like staying strong for everybody. I felt like my siblings, you know, and seeing a lot of people who, you know, my dad and I talked every day.
So you was the oldest?
The oldest. We talked every day. And so seeing like what my sister went through, and she, you know, that regret, I should have answered his calls. I should have answered his calls, you know, and just really like taking a lot of life lessons about how short life is and how precious time is, and
Definitely.
doing what you love and loving what you're doing. One of my last conversations with my dad, he says like, are you happy? You know? And I said, yeah, I guess, you know, I just finished my, I just finished my master's degree in education, and realized after spending, $80,000 on that degree, I didn't want to do that because there was no money in that. So, you know,
yeah, teaching school.
You know, are you happy? And so, and then I remember that he's like, and I remember him just having a conversation about like just being happy. Like, don't go through life just doing stuff just because it's what you're supposed to do or what they tell you to, like, go be happy. So that was the last conversation we had. So it took a while after that for me to get my groove back, because that he was my groove, like, you know, like, so it took a while. So I wrote, but, you know, after that, I completed some of the shows that we had booked.
So did you step away from music after that?
For a while. That was 2016.
Yeah. 2016.
He fell in 2016. So I finished the shows I had to do, and then I went about my life. I got a second master's in human resources. I was an executive by 28, so I was fortunate enough to just kind of have like that business smarts and still kind of go on.
Right.
Also masking that as like life is good. I'm just going to ignore this voice in my head. I'm just going to ignore this voice in my head. Fast forward to Miami. I came out here with no intentions of getting back into the business at all. And I went through a heartbreak, if you will. I had to call off an engagement. And my neighbor at the time was a producer. And he's like, just come to the studio, just come to the studio. I go to the studio, and he's like, yo, you can actually rap. And I couldn't stop writing. Like, the moment my ex left the house, I couldn't put down the pen. It was like, for whatever reason, it just flowed. It kept coming back. It was like, not only did it come back, it came back better than what it was 10 years ago. My life experiences changed. I was more comfortable with who I was. I also learned a lot about budgeting and managing my money, so I knew this time around I might be able to sustain a little bit more than before. You know, so I kept going, and you know, when we realized that, we were at Camp David, and then we went to Oracle Studios, because at the time, I had friends that worked in and out of there, so I had access to the studio whenever I wanted, which was a privilege. And they recently closed down. But that place, I mean, we'd be in the studio for 12, 15 hours, me and this producer, and then we'd have people and it got to a point where, like, I'd be in the studio recording, I'd look around, there's like a party going outside. Like, people just like, y'all make it hit, but we'd be making bangers from the ground up. I remember I was in the bathroom one day, and I heard a doom, doom, and I was like, what's that beat? He's like, are you joking right now? And this is all on camera. And I flew out the bathroom, like flew out. And I was like, keep that key and do this and do that. I mean, we made Higher that way. We made Jungle that way. I mean, I just remember getting the fun back again. Like, it was fun to be in the studio again. I didn't have bad memories of my dad anymore. I wasn't even thinking about it. I was thinking about just taking elevating. So
in other words, you like to help build your own music, your own sound, your own beats.
Yeah, that's the best part. Like that I think there's, like, you know, respectfully, I feel like that's the part that we're missing a little bit today. It's like a lot of people don't understand that collaboration. You know, they get the beat, they stay in their bedrooms, and they just do what they do, and that could work, and it does work for some. But there is something real magical about being in a studio with people that do it and do it well. And you can teach, and they can teach. And it's like an energy, you know. So
what made you come back though? What made you come back? So that's what made you come back? Yeah, that's what I want. Because I want to know what made her come back.
When I had a story to tell, and I had a point to prove to myself. You know, at first it was like I need a vent, and I'm like, no, this vent didn't actually sound like a damn hit. Fuck him, like, you know what I mean? Fuck him, like, you know, you like you know, respectfully, you know, I've always dated people that I helped to elevate.
Right.
They didn't elevate me.
You.
You know what I mean? Like, it was like in the beginning, like, that's dope. And then it was like all about them. So this is the first time in my life since high school I've been single. This is the longest I've been single since high school. All right. And it's the first time I'm putting me first. And so I'm elevating myself. So what's keeping me going? Like, I'm putting me first for the first time.
That's a good thing.
You know, and it feels great. It feels fantastic. But I'm like, I don't know. I guess fuck him. I got this. Like, you know. You know. But then I just realized, like, this. It's making me happy. It's making other people happy around me. People are dancing. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it's about. That experience, creating them experiences with people. And top of all that, when you get to, you know, make money with your friends, there ain't nothing better than that, than having fun with your friends and making money with your friends, you know. And that's a blessing. So when that started to happen, we winning, you know. We winning. And so and then, you know, I realized that I really do like the camera. So my mom always said, if you look good, you feel good, and if you feel good, you do good. And I just realized that, it's time to look good and get out that house, you know. So
how was it being raised by a single parent, and how did it affect you in life and in your music career?
So my mom, I watched my mom, like, from the ground up go from, like, you know, we had the lights cut off, you know, she was just trying to make it, to her getting in a car accident that ultimately gave us the money that we had to kind of do other things. Like, God works in kind of crazy ways like that, but she almost lost her life. So really early on, like, realizing, you know, mom could go. She had to learn how to walk, talk, and eat again, and all that kind of stuff. And just watching her work, my mom's work ethic is crazy. Like, she just got her doctorates in business a few years ago. Like, that's, like, my grandmother's got her doctorates in theology. Like, like, you know, so just watching these women, like, just work, like, it does something. It teaches you about hard work, you know? Right, so, like, in that famous quote, like, hard work beats talent when talent don't want to work. And I'm like, all right, well, I got that hard work. Well, shit, if I got the talent in the hard work, I'm unstoppable. Let me own
you're
me.
A beast.
You know
what
I mean?
Beast.
Let me
you're
own
a
me.
Beast.
So, and I finally was able to accept that about me. Like, let me own me. But my mom always said that, like, you know, like, you have more power than you think you do. She was always instilling these little thoughts in me, like, along the way, everything that she could, like, always look good, always smell good, you know what I mean? All little things like that, you know, always walk with your head up, shoulders back, you know, like, watch your posture, and those little sprinkles of things that mom gave you later on in life. You like, you know, you can't fix stupid, you know, like, stuff like that. Right. So those little things. So that was cool watching. But so she had the business person, but my dad was a hustler, you know. So my dad was like, you know, he was a DJ, and I'll leave it there, you know.
Yeah. He's doing this.
He's doing a lot. And so having that, and then having that, it's kind of like if I really tap into who I truly am as a person, the blessing that my parents gave me, and then my grandmother and my grandfather being in the church, they own a church, and that, like, keeping my faith always on my back, you know, just always remembering that I got the formula to be and what are you doing? Get up and go do what you're supposed to do. So it was kind of like I had that aha moment somewhere between the breakup and the going back to the studio. It was like, stop believing in everybody and believe in yourself. Like, do what your mom taught you to do. So that hustle, like, from both sides really just got to me. But, you know, also realizing that you don't have to rock, like, my mom, we didn't have no name brands growing up. Nothing. She was big on that. Like, you know, so I don't get caught up in the Louis Vuitton and the da-da-da-da-da. Like, someone would be like, you got a nice shirt on. I'm quick to say, it was Amazon, $20. Here's the link. Like, you know, I'm not, you know, what will that change over time? Who's to say? I do like nice things, but my mom taught me to always, like, be humble no matter where you are in life. You know what I mean? Treat yourself, but be humble. But I'm more likely to, like, go on a nice vacation and buy a $10,000 bag, you know, like, but that's coming from my mom, you know, so I guess she gave me that practice too, you know.
Definitely. You know, she instilled a lot of good, positive things in you.
Yeah.
Looking back at yourself, your younger self, right?
Trifling.
Did you felt you was prepared? And if not, what happened?
Did I feel?
Did you feel like you was prepared for this? If you didn't, what happened? Why you didn't? Yeah.
My family laughs now. They're like, "Thank God you started sprinting now than 10 or 15 years ago." Because there's levels to this. So you could have the talent, but if you don't got the wisdom, especially if you're an attractive female or an attractive anybody in this business,
right.
And you walking around being stupid and naive, you can get caught up being with people who are going to take advantage of you if you're not with the right circle, And we see it all the time on the news, whatever social media puts out there. Sometimes it's smoke and mirrors, whatever, social media hype and all that. But sometimes that shit is real. Like if you go to that party if you want to, like you know what I mean.
Right.
And 10, 15 years ago, I might have been like, hey, you know what I mean, like. Now I'm like, nah, I'll stop and say hello, and you got to know when to leave. You got to know when to call it, and back then, everyone was my friend back then. Fast forward, not everybody's your friend. Like you got to be careful who you hang out with. But I think back then, because you're so eager, you know what I mean, and your ego is so, you're not paying attention to everything else.
Guards is down a little bit.
The younger me would have probably gotten eaten alive. You know what I mean? The younger me would have gotten eaten alive.
Yeah,
I mean, respectfully, I might have been in the goddamn Diddy party. Like, well, you know what I mean?
Shit.
You know what I mean? But if I'm being honest, because you just don't know, you don't have no discernment. Like you're still trying to learn. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? At least now, if I go, I know when to leave. Like, I might still go, but I'm leaving.
When shit get crazy, you go.
I'm gonna do that Irish exit. You know what I mean? I'm about 5% Irish, so I can do that. Bye. But it's like you don't. I remember being at Daddy's house, and I will say that I always had a great experience. But I remember one day, French was coming up when I was at Daddy's house. That was like his time when he was like that was his era, right?
Yeah.
So I remember it was like a bunch of Coke boys, and sometimes they used to come in my sessions, and back then you're not gonna say no, so you just letting the guys come chill in your session. Like that's that I wouldn't do now. You know what I mean? And then not just the friend, but you just don't let random people in your session, regardless of who they roll with, because you don't know what they come with. You feel me?
Right,
Luckily, fortunately, I was always taken care of very well, and no one ever tried me at all. But I remember one day, one of the Coke boys, we were sitting there having a good time, and he goes, Puff had this big, and anyone who's been in a studio, they're gonna laugh, this big black leather couch, famous leather couch, and he had his table in the middle. He said such and I'm not gonna say no names. He was like, you know how such and such got famous? I said, nah, how? He said, she got on that table and danced for us. And I said, well, that's good for her, but fortunately for me, I got 2 left feet, and everybody started busting out laughing. So that's when you have that kind of sense of humor, hanging out with the guys, so you kind of learn how to navigate what you're saying and doing. But at the time, I didn't know that was a gift I didn't know I had at the time. It was just kind of the spin-off, the jokes, you know what I mean? No one had to
make people smile.
Making them smile so people don't feel rejected. You know what I mean? It's not. It's just I'm not rejected. I'm just redirected, and I didn't even know I was doing that at the time. You know, so but it was the lesson learned was 10 years ago, had I had a left and a right foot, I might have got on that table. Who knows? You know what I mean? Thank God, for you learn, and that's just me being honest. I feel like a lot of people won't be honest. But I might have did it, but I can't dance. I can't dance.
You got a new single out, right? Jungle, yeah. Jungle. What's that about?
So the song starts off with
matter of fact, hold that thought. We got Jungle, right? Can you play it, please? Hey, I like this second one right here.
Yeah.
That right there.
Oh yeah.
That's the song.
Sweat. It's making me sweat.
That's the song.
Yeah.
That's the song.
Yeah.
But to go back to Jungle, where Jungle came about? Where did that come about?
What starts off, there's trouble knocking at my front door. So I'll give you a true story.
Okay.
When I told you I called up an engagement. So knocking at my front door was my neighbor across the hall. She ended up fucking my ex. Okay?
Oh.
I let this girl in my house. I called her a friend, helped her out where she needed to be. So I always talk about the snakes, You know what I mean? Because you got to be careful who you let in your house, and I learned that too.
That's why I
You
like.
gotta be
I like
careful.
jungle. 'Cause jungle.
You like jungle better?
Jungle,
I like
Jungle's
jungle.
talking some
Jungle.
Jungle talking that shit. It's talking that real life. His body parts that's that sexy club. Yeah, it's just time to go. But jungle is like you gotta learn to pray instead of asking why. You know what I mean? Like you gotta drive that car before you fly the plane. Chill out, control, baby steps, tranquilo. You know what I mean? But body parts is that song that's what you gotta do for the people. You know, but jungle I made
You
for
like
movies
jungle,
too.
huh? You like jungle, huh?
Jungle I also
I like the other one, man, because that's the jumping.
it is jumping. I want to hear more. You know, it's a time and a place for both of them.
Yeah.
You know, I realized like with the jungle, it was like I'm talking to myself. That's
Okay.
me getting back to my music. So the sky is my music. I'm running through the jungle just to feel the sky. You know what I mean? It's just to get out and get back to me. You know what I mean? Like, but I have to go through all this shit in this jungle before I can see the sky. I got to go through the snakes. I got to go through the tears. I got to go through the prayers. I got to make the same mistakes 50,000 times before my knucklehead understands you can't carry all this shit and get up. You got to leave that shit in the jungle. Your backpack is only going to take you, but you got a backpack? You can only climb out with a small bag. You can't take A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, X, Y. You can't take on them people with you. They're not meant to go with you.
Yeah, you can't
But
take
they're-
everybody.
But they're meant to be. They're a part of the story. Without them,
they're meant to be around you.
you're not going. But no one to drop off. You know, learn to pray, learn to laugh. You know what I mean? It's okay. You know, it's funny how when I was down, they all came around because misery loves company. The
Better
second
believe
you
that.
start to elevate, the second I'm going through this now. People, they show you they ass.
I mean, when I hear jungle, it seems like everything, your experiences and what you learned, you put in jungle.
I put my heart in jungle. I put my whole foot and ass in jungle. I mean, I remember jumping on the table and me and the producer were like, we held hands like, this shit fire, like, you know, and it was the first time that I had people in the studio go, you know, because we used to have people just like in and out, and they go, D, this is the first time that I actually know who you are as an artist. And that the light bulb went off. Like, body parts is cool. We had 2 versions of body parts. We got a Minx in Miami version and a Coke and Pepsi version, right? And I'm a big double entendre person, so a lot of times I'll be saying one thing, and you'll think I'm talking about this, but it's a double entendre. So I could be talking about that. You don't know what I'm talking about.
Right.
So, you know, I let people make it their own. But, you know, I realize there's a time and a place for me to be jungle, but as an artist, a songwriter, because I'm a songwriter.
Right.
You got to write music not just for you. You got to write for other people. You have to be able.
It's not
to.
for you. Just people don't get it.
Yeah.
You're not rapping. You're not writing music for you.
No.
You doing it for them.
Yeah.
You know, just because a lot of people be like, "Oh, I don't like the way I sounded," but it ain't for you.
It's not for you.
That person out there who listen to it, they gonna love it. They might love it, and then you might miss out on your hit.
You'll block your blessing. Try to tell everyone your story. I always said this like 10 years ago. I wanted people to know my story. Let me tell you something right now. Don't nobody give about your story.
No, they don't.
I'm sorry. We could talk about this story that has friends and we can get to know each other. But when it comes to the gate, respectfully, nobody cares about your story.
They don't.
They don't. But if you can make your story a hit some way
Okay.
and take yourself out of it and your emotions,
Okay, and you good.
you might have a record.
You good.
That's business. That's why they call it the music business, you know. But if you don't have that mentality though,
Yeah.
and you just want to go, I want everyone to hear my story. Well, get in line, because there's 1,000 stories that want to be heard and they're just like yours. You know, one thing my aunt told me, and it's rude, but it's true. You're not that important. I just sound like a whole asshole saying that,
Right.
but it's not to be negative. It's you may be important to your mother, your man, your girl,
Right.
your circle, but to
But
8 billion people,
You ain't important. They don't know who the hell you are.
they don't give a
That's a
about
fact.
you. And let's say you get colossal, you know, the biggest.
Right.
The second you do so, they waiting for you to fall. They gonna talk about that more than they talk about the good shit you do.
Facts.
So you know, you got to be prepared for that. 10
Facts.
years ago, I'd have cried every night. You know,
Let me know. Tell me, anytime, has there been any time where you felt like you lost out on an opportunity? And looking back, what did you learn from whatever that experience, if that happened to you?
yeah. I'll say this for a second. I always say, if it's meant for you, it'll be for you.
Right.
But if it's not meant for you, it ain't gonna keep coming back.
Keep coming back.
But don't take advantage of it when it keeps coming back, because eventually it ain't gonna come back. So I remember one night I was in Hoboken, New Jersey. It was 2:00 in the morning. And this Lambo, purple Lambo, I think, pulls up. We had a diner. I'm recording at Daddy's house, so I got some bombs in my backpack, maybe. And my friends were like, "Yo, D, I dare you to walk up to that guy and ask him what he does for a living." I was out there. I walk up to anybody. I didn't give back then, no sense. And he goes, I was like, "What do you do?" He looks at me, starts laughing. He goes, "My name is Justin." Okay. I'm Jay-Z's producer. Just Blaze? I said, "Oh, shit. I didn't have my music on me. I didn't have nothing. And if I told him I was a rapper, he'd laugh, because you and everybody else in line,
Our rappers.
you ain't got your music on. You're not ready.
Not ready. Damn.
How you a rapper and run into someone like Just Blaze? You in Daddy's house spending $80 an hour at the time, making $15 an hour, and you ain't have shit to give him? You ain't ready yet. Because if you were ready, you would have been prepared." So that happened.
You missed out on that.
Happened to me at Daddy's house. French. I was outside in my Chevy Cruze. They said, I was supposed to have a session at like 5 o'clock. Jay goes, "It's going to be a while. French is here. You might want to go home." I said, "No, I'm waiting," because I had Eli Tubo with me, who was Rakim and Eric B's producer. "Yo, Eli, drop the beat."
Yeah,
that's my man. It's like,
right.
he had me since I was a young. That's my guy.
Right.
I said, "Nah," I go, "because I want Eli to see the work I've been putting in. Like, I want Eli to see, like, I'm serious."
Yeah.
So we waited in that car, and Eli did something. He lived in New York, so he went did something. I'm sitting in my Chevy Cruze. I look to my left. It's Harv Pierre, the vice president of Bad Boy. You at that guy's studio every freaking week. You ain't got no music? Wait a minute. I
need to know, right? I need to know real quick. Who have you been around?
A lot of people.
In the industry.
A lot of people.
Because you calling Harv, Haitian Pierre, and
let me tell you what my dumb ass did. Real quick.
What you did, Danielle?
Because Harv don't know me from a can of paint. He just probably, if he saw old people, like, "Oh yeah, that's that girl that was," he don't even know he got a Black and Mild in his hand. Now, I used to smoke Black and Milds. I'm like, I double checked my phone to make sure I'm looking at. I rolled in my window because he couldn't find his lighter. You know what I said? "Excuse me, sir, do you need a lighter?" He looked at me like, "What the fuck? Nah. No. Stay ready. Still got to get ready." Fast forward. French took 5 extra hours. I was in my car for 5 hours waiting for that studio, because they don't let you go upstairs if you were like, when people like that in the room, you can't go. I don't care how much money. You're not going upstairs. They block it all off. French went over on his time, and he left me. I was in Studio B, the one that you walk to the left. So French was always in Studio A, which was like the big boy studio. I ain't had the money to get in there. French told Jay to tell me he was apologized for taking over, and that the rest of the night I could stay in Studio A, the big studio.
Oh, wow.
So that's when I realized, like, some solid ass people in this world too. Like, I never met French a day in my life, but he gave me a night that I'll never forget. I got to be in one of the biggest studios that I've ever been in with Eli Tubo, and that was all I wanted to do, was show Eli at the time, look what I did. You know what I mean? So like, it was cool. It was really, really cool, that experience, and I'm thankful for it. But like, I've been around without being around, like a fly on the wall, And I've had, done radio shows, and Mr. Cheeks was there, I've had opportunities to work with Project Pat, and just kind of always just kind of whatever. And then I remember Jay had told me, like, "Yo, I got this contract where you can do with, Rick Ross." And, I didn't know his real name at the time, and I read the contract, so who the hell is this? But it was like, back in the day, he wanted like $10,000 for a feature. I'm making $15 an hour. I said, "Jay, I can't do this." And you don't even get to meet these people. You send them the beat, they send it back. Whatever you do with it, that's on you.
That's on you.
It is. So it's $10,000.
You got to promote it. You got to do what you got to do.
I'll give you the song for 10 bands. Why not? But like, that's on you. So it's like So I'm like, I ain't got it. So they gave me the opportunity with Project Pat. It was half of that, and I was like, nah. Well, I ended up doing a song with Project Pat that year, Young M.A. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Lesson learned is, Next time, go to the bank and get a goddamn loan, bitch. You know what I mean? But I wasn't ready. I didn't know enough. I'm thinking I can rap. These people should want to work with me for free.
Nah. You gotta pay. You gotta pay your way.
Play sometimes.
You gotta pay your way.
Payola. I'm sorry, it's illegal, but it ain't.
Pay your way. You gotta pay your way.
You know, so
ain't shit free.
Ain't nothing is free, and that's a lot of times these independent artists. You gotta realize, I'm like, ain't shit free.
Yep.
Sorry. You want to work with the biggest? You better come with the biggest.
You gotta come with the biggest.
You know, like, and so now, you know, you learn how to go to Chase Bank and get a damn loan and figure that shit out. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
But what about working with Eli Tubo?
He's the best. I talked to him this morning. He's the best. That's my guy. I met Eli because I used to be a personal trainer at LA Fitness. That's how I met Kevin Woodley. And Kevin Woodley was behind some of the greatest. He's A&R, he was Russell Simmons' right hand at one point. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm aging myself as I'm having this conversation, but that's okay. So I said, Eli. Kevin was like, you got something, but you haven't put in your 10,000 hours yet. You're rusty. I said, what the fuck is 10,000 hours? So he taught me about the respecting of 10,000 hours. Go to the gym, practice. We talking about practice. Yeah, we talking about practice. Go practice. You can't win games if you don't practice. You know, and I think a lot of times AI, they twist what he said. That man went to practice. Well, what he's saying was, why are we talking about something that you should be, like, that's normal?
Exactly.
We're talking about practice. Talk about something else. That comes with it. Not he don't go to practice. My hard ass didn't want to go to practice. I was like, I'm good. I can shoot a three-pointer. I got to practice. That's ego. You know, so that had to be checked before I got here today. That had to be checked before I ran into you at the show a couple weeks ago. If my ego was through the roof as it was back then,
would have blocked a lot of your
I'd have blocked the show. You know what I mean? Yep. I'd have blocked the show. What the hell? You know, but like now it's just like I'll jump on any stage. Whether there's one person in the crowd or it's 300 people in the crowd.
You better believe that.
Because that one person or that 300, somebody in that crowd gonna make a difference.
Yeah.
That's ego. 10 years ago, I'm like, I'm not doing that. Now I'll do that 50 times over. You know, like, so you gotta go through stuff, you know, and hopefully somebody listens to this, I'm dropping gems, you can get out your own way. You know, so you know that's really it. But I'm thankful. But yeah, I had a lot of opportunities that I'm glad it happened because I wouldn't be here today to talk about it. You know,
God
there's
is
a
good.
reason. There's a reason for it. But now,
God is good.
Now I'm coming.
That's
Move
it.
out the way. I'm coming. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely coming, but I love it.
What's that red bag right there?
I got you something. I'm
looking at the red bag. Oh, for real?
Yeah, I got you all
I'm looking at the red bag. I know I see you came in here with a red bag. I'm like, what's going on?
I heard that you had I was watching your show with Rick Ross a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And I heard you had a little Lexus. So we're going to start there. So I said, Lexus, my grandfather used to have an SC400. I love that car.
What is this?
It's a walk to walk. I got this for you.
Definitely that. Thank you, sweetheart.
I had ordered something customized, but it got stuck in UPS, so whenever it comes, I'll deliver it here. For now, you got that.
I do not have that anymore. That's a long time ago.
What's that so?
Let's just keep saying. Oh my God. What the hell? Oh my God, what the hell going on? Oh my God, what am I? Oh my God. What the hell? No.
Hey, you know you got to put that right there. Hey, you got to put that right there.
Yeah, I do. I have to put that right there. That's going to stay right.
That's would have brought it, but
that's right here, woo. Right there, walk right there. I got to find
it. She's definitely unique. She's definitely unique.
Oh, man, what the hell, y'all?
That's it.
Like the SC400.
In the journal, I wrote each of you a note. You heard walk to walk? Open that front of that journal. I wrote beside it on the brown part.
On the brown part?
Just read it.
Oh, okay.
Special
fragrance list.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Oh my God! Actually, because
Oh,
Ski, yes, right there.
Oh, yeah,
Next
yeah,
chapter. Thank you. Leave it there, man. Wow. Okay. I love it. I love it, man. I appreciate you, man.
Let me just bring y'all some
I appreciate you, man.
Definitely.
Let me see what this card say, man.
I think the card's a nice little
Hey,
thank you.
hey, Walk. Put that over there, man. Put that over there, man. Put that over there. That's gonna stay. That right there ain't going nowhere. That's gonna be on every show.
Leave that impression, you know?
That's gonna be on every show, Walk. Yeah, right there. It is. Find a way.
And one day when I could afford the SC, I'm pulling up. The old school
Oh,
one.
man.
Oh man, that's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yeah, I like that. Appreciate you.
No problem.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I see that red bag. I keep looking at that red bag. What's in that damn red bag,
Yeah,
man?
yeah.
What she got in that damn red bag, man?
I always say, you know, it's
Oh my God, I gotta put this
I
next.
love that, you know, like making people laugh and stuff
Nah,
like that.
Nah, I gotta go ahead and try to buy me a Lexus.
They got a lot of them out there.
They got all them out there. I'm trying to get me a Lexus, though. I already got the key for it, though.
He said, what? He said a Land Cruiser.
Yeah, Land Cruiser, Land Cruiser.
We going back.
Yeah. LS 400. A long time ago.
It's my grandma.
LS 400 white. I had a pearl white. Pearl white.
Still got it.
Pearl white and a beige. Pearl white and beige.
Key thing. So Danielle, with the what's the importance of having a sense of humor?
Man, boy, that's too much.
Got to. Life is too. What?
I even got a little screwdriver.
Oh yeah.
What a screwdriver for? God damn it.
That's what you got in case you got any car issues.
Oh, shit.
You can.
Oh, my
I
God.
always say, I figured at this point in my life.
Oh,
'cause
shoot.
I done. You know, I've sat in my dark houses. You know, with the
Yeah.
beautiful view with the shades down in darkness. Right. That's a choice. You make that choice. You know, like, so I can sit at home and be sad, and be depressed.
Or
Go to counselor, get on meds, whatever it may be, do whatever,
Right.
drink my pain away.
Yeah.
Get as high as a kite so I don't feel my lows, and
Yeah.
I've been there and back. You know what I mean? So, or I can get up, make some of my, and look back and go, I'm glad that shit happened, because if it didn't, I wouldn't be here. You matter if that girl that come knocking on my door and take that man, have him. Thank you. That shit funny as hell to me now.
facts.
But I wish you both well, you know? Like Cardi B said, inhale. No, I'm sure. You know, no, I wish you both well. You gotta laugh at it. Sometimes you gotta laugh at shit because we do it to ourselves. Like all the heartbreak and the pain. You see that shit months prior. You know what I mean? We've all been around people we knew we shouldn't have been around them. For whatever reason, we around them. I don't care if it's a girlfriend,
We get
a
stuck.
dude,
We stuck.
a
Some
friend.
whatever reason they stuck to us.
And then
We
when
can't
that-
get rid of them.
And then all you can do when the shit hits the fan is go, that's your own goddamn fault,
Yeah,
dummy.
you should have never. You should. Yeah, you should.
You
Yeah.
did that
Louder
to-
than you
God
think.
showed you 8 months ago to get from them people. The joke on you. So you gotta laugh because sometimes life is too. It's wars going on. We live in America, man. Like
this shit
I don't care
crazy.
how bad people say it is here. Every country got its pockets.
Yeah.
But you ain't gotta worry about. I could dress like this and go outside. If I dress like this somewhere overseas, I'm going to jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dubai,
Especially Dubai. You can't do that in Dubai.
You know what I mean?
It's strict on that.
You live in a country where you can go online and tell the president F off if that's what you feel like doing.
King Jong Un, you getting
Try doing that shit in Korea.
Korea, you get
You
your head
get
cut
your
off.
hair cut off.
Try doing that in China. Like,
have to
you don't realize, like, I built when I was in high school, in middle school, I built houses for the homeless in Tijuana every summer with the youth group for a while. And I realized, like, I remember one year I was so mad at my mom because she couldn't afford to get me a PlayStation. And I go build the houses in Tijuana with supplies that I got from Home Depot with the church. And there's a family of 3-4 people and a dog. No running water, no electricity, and a outhouse little area, little thing to shit and they covered up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm pissed at my mom getting on the airplane because she couldn't afford, as a single parent, to get me a goddamn PlayStation. That's how I left her and went to Mexico. The nerve of you. Like,
And you see this.
and you see
see
they
this.
Happy. Yeah.
Happy, yeah.
Happy as hell.
Very gay. Yeah.
We're talking about that.
Yeah.
We're talking about some issues a certain person has. You said, man, you won't know what another person going
They
through.
going through.
You think your problem is the biggest until
Somebody else's worse situation than you.
worse
Yeah.
situation
Yeah,
than you.
that's why you gotta thank God for what you have.
Yeah.
Stop crying and bitching about what you don't have. Cause that person around the corner, they ain't got no roof, they ain't got no eyes, they ain't got no legs. So thank God you got 2 legs, 2 arms. You know what I'm saying? So man, I don't complain, man. I just tell
Yeah. And
God, thank you.
And it's like a lot of people, like, you know, I live in Miami Beach, and a lot of people like, they smoke and mirrors. Oh, your life must be so easy because you live here. Don't compare yourself to other people's lives.
Yeah.
You don't know what the fuck
fuck you had to go through. Yeah.
They ain't been in them shoes.
You ain't been in them. You don't know what the
They ain't
fuck
been
you
in
had
them
to
boots.
do in the shoes.
Boots.
These boots is hurting.
Them gold boots.
You don't know what he had
Goalie.
to do.
I'm gonna start calling you goalie boots.
I love me some high boots.
Yeah.
That's my thing. But I don't know what you had to do to get in that chair and what you had to do to get in this chair. Like, stop comparing yourselves to what you see because it's not what you think. Like, it's like if you spend your whole life comparing yourself to other people, you ain't gonna get nowhere. You're gonna be sad. You're gonna be very sad. You're gonna be behind. So you get out your own way. I had to stop saying, I don't know why, this rapper's here and I'm here. Well, she there and you there because you too busy worried about her.
Right.
Damn self. So it's like you have to go through these lessons of life. I had to see those houses in the T. I wanted to be appreciative of the fact that, what I had at home. May not have had a PlayStation. You know what I mean? But now I got a PlayStation 5 I don't play. Games I've never opened, and that's some American bullshit that I just told you. You know what I mean? So it's just you be thankful for what you have.
I appreciate
be thankful for what you have. So I'm thankful just to be alive.
Yeah.
Lord knows he saved me from I told you, I could have sat in that room and been depressed and been so high up I couldn't come back down. I was saved, you know what I mean? And and you got to just keep going. The music saved my life. When I go to the studio, I'm focused. I don't think about that. I don't think about this. I'm focused.
Music is soothe the soul, man. I love me. Walk. Sometimes Adrian, he'll come by the house, and we just sit in front of my house. We just listen to music and just vibe.
That's it.
Just talk and vibe, and it'd be so peaceful.
Yeah, and that's fun though. Like them backyard parties, you just hanging with your friends.
I love it, man. I mean, that is my peace.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes my wife wanna come, get away from my peace. She might see it. You know what I'm saying? But that is my peace, man. That is my peace. You know what I'm saying?
Good music is good music. And
looking at
people forgot to make hits.
Looking at your future. Looking at your future, Danielle. All right. What would you like people to look at, you know what I'm saying, your legacy?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What would you like for people to feel about you, Danielle Marie, legacy you want to leave behind?
I want someone to say like, yo, that song got me through. That wasn't. I don't even have to hear it. Like, I don't need the kudos. Like, I just want to know that I'm making records for when that song got me
made
through.
a difference. You made a
I
difference.
made a difference. You know what I mean? Like,
made a difference. I like that.
Yeah, and I used to volunteer, teach in Newark at citizen schools, after school programs, and this girl Manaya, she was mute. She watched her parents burn in the house.
Yeah.
And she didn't talk. For whatever reason, this girl started writing poetry, and she used to give me her poetry. And I'm like, sorry. And she was like, and I was like, the teacher came up, she was like, Manaya don't talk. I said, that's weird, 'cause she talked to me. She talked to me through poetry. And I saved all them poems. They're in my safe. And I said, if I ever got a chance to thank her for her words saving me, that's the legacy I want, the Manaya legacy. You know what I mean? Like, thank you for giving me a voice again. Thank you for, you know what I mean, giving me an outlet. Like, when I was blind, you helped me see. That type of. Yeah. So I guess, I want to leave a Manaya legacy because that's what she did to me, and she had to go, and it's crazy to think about, that little girl had to go through that to get me that paper, for me to always have that burned in my brain so I could take that ball and run to the end zone. Sometimes that's just life, and that's just probably one of the many things that girl's going to go on and do, because she was in high school back then, or middle school, but if she touched me, I can only imagine the gem she's sprinkling if she's still around today, so yeah, I want to leave that Manaya legacy for sure, that effect. Yeah,
that's what's up. Before we close out the show, is there anything you want to say, any message you want to put out there?
Ask one more question.
You want to ask one more question?
Yeah, one more question.
One more. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
Danielle Marie, give me one word. I know there's many words, because as you speak, it's a whole bunch of words that I could say that identifies you. But you give me one word that identifies Danielle Marie.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Oh shit!
I think that's gonna be it. I think that that came out it rolled off my tongue, and I'm stick to it because it means like I'm everything. You know what I mean? If you look at the Urban Dictionary, I'm everything. I'm here. I'm there. I'm happy. I'm wisdom. I'm wise. I'm so super and so Cali and fabulous that, man, I'm expialidocious. You don't even know what to do with me.
Hey, Danielle, not to cut you off. See, Danielle, I want to ask you a favor, right? After the show, right? I'm doing a little photo shoot for a Smart Cigar, right? Which is I'm part owner of. I would like to do if we can, me and you could do a picture together. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, with the cigar, you know what I'm saying?
Can I smoke a cigar?
Not back here, unfortunately.
Oh, man.
But you can hold, but you definitely, I'm going to give you, you know what I'm saying, make sure you take one with you. Yeah. But you could, hold it in your, me and you, we're going to take, because, I got to do a photo shoot.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because, most definitely, man. Hey.
I already know that's because that vibe.
Yeah, she just, and not only that, man, I want to let people who's watching, who knows, she ordered food for the crew. You feel me? She ordered dinner. She was like, I don't want to, come, empty-handed. She bought gifts, and she ordered, dinner for the crew, man. So, come on, man.
Least you can do, right?
Somebody like that, how can you not support him? And when I met her in Tampa, when I met you in Tampa, and it's like my spirit attracted your spirit right away.
Yeah.
You feel me? And then and I'm a very spiritual person, and that's why you're here.
Yeah. That's why I said to her, I saw him at Tampa, I was like, you look so familiar. He just laughed. I'm like, who are you? Like, listen, I had to go home. I'm like, who is this guy? I'm not just Michelle. I'm like, oh, but I didn't know. But sometimes, I will say that sometimes it's good to not know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good to not know because I feel like some people get too caught up when they know.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't know because I might have been nervous on the stage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm glad I met Juice on the strength of just passing through.
Yeah.
Because I might have been nervous. And so I feel like sometimes it's best you don't know. And
shout out to Juice and E-Mac.
For real.
Yeah.
For real.
Definitely,
because they put a lot of good connections together that weekend.
They did.
I told Juice that I said, look, I think the one thing that if no one gets to tell you this, I think the one thing you did for every artist there was give them hope. And we talked about a little bit of hope. Like you people, I can still do this.
Yeah.
People he did that. You know what I mean? But I feel like a lot of people when they don't get their flowers when they're alive. Like you don't realize. So every chance I get, if you do something right, I'm gonna tell you because tomorrow's not guaranteed.
It ain't. Tomorrow ain't promised. That's why you gotta live today as your best.
Yeah. So I appreciate the both of you.
Yeah, no doubt.
Anytime someone asks me that question, you know my answer already. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
That's what it is, man.
That might be the next hit song.
That's it. I appreciate you for coming through. You know what I'm saying on the Papazoe show, man. It's all love. You.